City Sister City Advisory Board. We're having our quarterly meeting tonight, and I'd like to welcome Julie Means to our committee. Thank you, Julie, for coming this evening. And we have guests here that I would just like if they could introduce themselves and why you're here. Stanley, you want to start?
Yes, Stan Haas, live north of Delaware. Was in Baumholder, Germany in '63 and '64, and decided this time, I've read where you were going over, and they've been over here and all that. But this time I'm going to go in and see what's going on.
Great, thanks, Stan.
293rd Engineer Battalion in Baumholder.
All right.
Good experience, good memories from Germany.
Great.
Good wine.
Great.
I'm Corey Ratliff. I live on the west side of town. I'm just coming to kind of find out more about kind of what the committee does. Just kind of get a better understanding of it.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff Sprague, I'm with NEX Transport. We have an operations here in Delaware, and I'll be going on a trip in NEX on Japanese.
Thank you.
And Joanne Meyer, Delaware City representative, our schools representative for the trip.
Great, great. Thank you for coming. And you want to introduce yourself in the back? Thanks. Thanks, Brandon. All right. Well, welcome to everybody. And the first thing on the agenda is a roll call. Would you like to take that, Elaine, please?
Mr. Bartha? Ms. Means? Present. Ms. Sally Greiner?
Present.
Mayor Riggle?
Here.
Vice Chairman Kopp?
Here.
Chairman Hebert?
Here. And I would just note that Dan did send his regrets that he couldn't be here this evening. So we realized that, and Joanne, you're going to carry the ball for the Delaware City Schools in Japan. So Dan's actually sorry that he's not here because he's the principal at Dempsey, and they are the ones who host the Cicada students. So he's quite interested in this trip, and I think what might happen afterwards for sure. So the next item on the agenda is the approval of the motion summary for our meeting back in October, because we didn't have a quorum for our January meeting. So does anyone have a motion or any changes that they would like to make to the October minutes?
I have a motion to approve.
Thank you. Okay, a motion from Mayor Riggle and Mr. Kopp for a second, please.
Ms. Means?
Abstain.
Ms. Sally Greiner?
Yes.
Mayor Riggle?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kopp?
Yes.
Chairman Hebert?
Yes. There's 4, yeah.
There's 4.
I don't know how that works with,
Our board now consists of 6 people.
for the
Oh,
moment.
wait, 7. It'll pass.
Okay.
4.
So I had to count.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the
What,
math teacher.
Yeah, it's basic.
what I'd like to do is move Baumholder up before Cicada on the agenda. Is there any objection to that?
No.
Okay, so we're going to take up our update on Baumholder. You may have noticed that there was an article in the newspaper a few weeks ago about the development of the museum. And I think, Stan, that's what you saw, wasn't it? Yeah. The recent article about the museum. And they're expecting now for it to open about a year from now, maybe April of 2018. So what would like to do, and I've talked to Rita about this and Stan, is to see if we can develop a group that can go over there for that, and to keep in touch with Gabby over there to see just about the dates of it. You know, hopefully, I'm sure they'll try to schedule it well in advance.
Right.
So, and that may be a focal point for maybe another visit to Baumholder for that event. That's what we're thinking about here, I believe.
Yes.
So, and also I can report that we have a Rotary exchange student who's going over to Germany this summer for 6 weeks, who's going to be a few hours north of Baumholder, but I'm hoping that he will make a visit there while he's there and just let people know that we're interested and would like to have more sort of private visits over there, or see if we can arrange for more people to visit there who aren't like associated with city council or our board. Does that make sense? And also on this, Jay Martin will be taking, I believe, a soccer team from Ohio Wesleyan over to Baumholder this summer. And that's been going on for years, and is, in a sense, one of the reasons that we have been able to develop this relationship is just the regular visits of the old soccer team. So.
Yeah, Jay goes every 4 years, and this year we're going to try to send over our sports information person for the first time, so we can get some regular photos and videos and stories and all from Baumholder.
Is that Wild Bill?
Mark Beckenbach.
Oh, okay, no, okay.
Yeah, I wish it was me.
Yes, I was over in Baumholder myself last year at this time, and it's I think a great place for Americans to go. I mean, there's so much history there, which you lived a bit, Dan, and I think a lot for Americans to gain by visiting there, for sure. I mean, you were there, what was it, about 4 or 5 years ago now? It was in 2012, wasn't it? That city council went.
13.
Was it in 13? So 4 years ago. Seems like a long time
I know.
ago.
And the high school had a program that Sarah was connected with.
Yes.
Her exchange student, who we hosted, and she's coming to visit us again this summer. So those relationships have continued,
Nice.
which is great.
Yeah, that's something that would fit in with this very well, is if we could do some more exchange of school students there in Germany, and we'll have to see how that can develop. So, all right, is there any more? Rita, do you have anything you'd like to say about Baumholder?
I've reached out to a couple of people, but interestingly, one has left the position there with the veterans. That's one thing, and another one, he is in Arizona at the moment, and the second one was not interested at all. So, but I go back to this person. He's going to come back, and the third one, he has at the moment a wedding, so I'm going to reach out to him too. Just not the right timing, but we have still a little bit of time, so not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely keep this on the agenda for our July meeting, for October, just to see how we can develop this. Does that make sense for the next few months?
How many do you think we want to see go over there for this? Have you thought about it?
Not yet,
No, okay.
but 5, 6.
Yeah, I was thinking 5 to 10 people,
Yeah, 5, 6 at least, yeah.
if we could manage a group
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So I think they would appreciate it, because they made this museum, really, it's about their experience with Americans. So we're a very large part of this museum. I mean, Baumholder has a really ancient history, but this museum isn't about their ancient history. It's about their
Probably
relationship
Americanized.
with the
their
Americans.
cities.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got like old American cars in the museum. So
Did
it's,
they actually do the Jeep through the wall?
Yeah,
like they
they've-
said?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Like
Willie's
the-
Jeep, made in Toledo.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
M38, was it?
Yeah, whatever that model was, it was a popular model.
I can remember freezing my left knee going down the Autobahn because there was nothing there but the air. And it was cold and that knee was there, and when I went to get out, that knee just wouldn't work. Something else. 48 mile an hour on a 90 mile an hour Autobahn, that wasn't fun.
well, that's our goal, is to get hopefully 5 to 10 people from Delaware to go over for the dedication of the museum next year. So,
I'm going to open it up to try to get people who have served there before, like Stan.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
would really make a nice development for them.
My husband is, by the way, also interested to join. He was in Baumholder too. He's an American, as was stationed there for a while, so he has already mentioned also he would be interested in that. So I will see.
Yeah, very good. All
One other
right.
quick thing, when I was over there, Haas is my last name. The literal translation is Little Rabbit. And the ladies, the fellows that worked at the commissary and the laundry and those places, when they'd see that name, boy, they'd really get on me. Something else.
Little rabbit.
It's quite a common name in America, Haas, isn't it?
Yes.
So,
And over there, I'd walk in and say, hey, there's a little rabbit, little rabbit.
all right. Well, thank you, all, and thank you, Rita, for making these contacts. So, all right, let's move on to Sakata here. I'd like to say that I sent Tom a note today that Saskia Brogan has just come back from Sakata. She was there for 3 weeks visiting the family of a student who stayed with them when they came on the Japanese visit some years ago. So Saskia is going to come and just tell us a little bit about her visit there. She's going to come at 6:30.
Okay.
So, all right. I think maybe what we can do is maybe you can tell us a little bit about your trip and the plans for it, and then maybe some of the things we might look at how we follow up with it in the future, and who we might need to maybe are things that I was thinking, what would you tell them about for the future? Does that make sense?
What would I tell who about the future?
The people in Japan,
Oh.
in Sakata.
Well, I'm just hoping to enhance the relationship they have with our students beyond students, adults, and also businesses. That's my goal.
Okay,
That's the reason I'm going.
I'll turn the floor over to you and Tom, okay?
Well, I haven't even read this. We have the full agenda or
It
the
looks
itinerary
great.
now.
I mean,
Looks like we're going to be very busy. Did you make copies? Okay. We leave Thursday morning and we will arrive there Friday at 3:30, 3:45, something like that. And then we will we'll have about a 6-hour layover and then we'll go on up to Sakata from there. And then we don't have a whole lot on Friday, then the Saturday is when it begins, right? So I'm so confused. Which day's Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday, so this is Friday.
This is Friday.
Yeah, so we get in late Friday night.
Late Friday night, yeah. So you can see, I think they have us visiting 13 different places.
yeah,
We will be very busy.
I'm really excited. I think you'll have such a fantastic time there and see some really unique things. That's what this is. You'll see unique things.
Mhm.
So,
I think to build on
I have my own, yeah.
what Carolyn was saying, in addition to the visits to the various attractions that they want to show us, city government, various other highlights of their city, we are touring 2 of their businesses, and we hope to be establishing some business ties with Sakata. Sakata is home to a number of corporations, one of which, actually there's an Epson plant there. That's not their headquarters, but they have a manufacturing plant there. So we will be visiting the Epson plant, talking about our industrial park, talking about Sawmill Parkway and our expansion plans, and hopefully to establish some ties with respect to commerce, business and commerce. In addition, there's actually manufacturer headquarters that manufactures golf clubs. And so we're going to visit that as well. It's just kind of interesting because of the tie-in with Muirfield and the memorial. Golf is big in Central Ohio. And again, it's just starting to establish those ties. And so that's a big feature. It's the mayor mentioned building on the relationship we already have. This establishes hopefully some solid business ties.
all right. I know that the students are coming over here again in November, and I guess you'll probably find out a little bit more about these schools when you're there, because that would be a nice contact in a way for you to see actually where these schools are, what they look like,
And I know that the provost from the university will be joining us, he and his wife. They lived in Japan for a while. I think they still have a daughter who might be there. And they look forward to, I don't know if it's the University of Community Service and Science, but I think that's one of the visits. And hopefully that will strengthen the tie with Ohio Wesleyan.
Right.
They're real
Very interested in that.
yeah, interestingly, we have 2 students from Buckeye Valley who are going to Japan with Rotary next school year, in the 2017-18 school year. They're not going to be in the Sakata area, but just the fact that they wanted to go to Japan, I think, is interesting. Just the people from Delaware here were interested in going to Japan, and is a good development. So.
And you become samurai warriors.
Yes. So I.
That's fun.
I do know that I'll also be there as a member of the Delaware Rotary Club, and we've made arrangements to visit a Rotary Club there. I'll be bringing the flag, the Rotary Club flag from Delaware, to their club, and hopefully we'll be getting an exchange with them. We did that when we were in Baumholder, and it was really kind of neat.
Yeah.
I mean, that really celebrates the Rotary Club's international presence and just provides another connection between our community and theirs through the civic organization that's known worldwide.
One of the things I'll suggest is to don't be afraid to take a nap in the afternoon. I was looking at some of the schedule, and it looks like they're giving you maybe that opportunity to maybe have a nap in the afternoon.
Just to adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's 13 hours ahead of us. And so I don't know how you ever make that. It's one thing to go to California and adjust that 3 hours. I don't know how you adjust a half a day. But you nap. Right.
On Thursday, instead of taking a flight back down to Tokyo, after this is all done, we're going to take the train so that we can see the countryside.
Oh, yeah, that's
Enjoy
very
it.
nice.
It's not the bullet, it's a scenic train. And then we'll be spending 3 days in Tokyo, the 4 of us on our own, exploring and seeing what we can see there. And I think that's when we're going to see the soybean farm. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually have, the mayor and I had lunch last month with Tom Price, who's a local farmer here, very active in agriculture affairs in Central Ohio and Ohio, as well as somebody from the Ohio Soybean Council. They're part of the U.S. Soybean Council, and they have a office in Tokyo. So we've made arrangements to meet with them and talk about the ties, the agriculture ties between Ohio and Japan, and really Northern Asia. When you think about the exports of soybeans, non-GMO soybeans, that's a big deal. And so that will be that Friday morning, and build on what we talked to Tom Price about it.
I guess when Honda sends crates back over there, empty crates, they go back with soybeans, which I didn't know that. Thought that was very
Jeff, you're-
interesting.
That's correct. They kind of market them as this better soybean that you can get there, but not much difference.
Okay.
I'm telling that.
Okay. Okay.
And the napping is okay, because I've worked with Japanese for 21 years, and they nap all day. After lunch, they fall asleep at the desk. So if you see the Japanese fall asleep anywhere, that's what they do. It's not disrespect.
So we're not boring them to death.
No, you'll be in a meeting and they'll just close their eyes, and they're thinking. They'll ask them thinking.
Oh,
If you
okay.
call them out, thinking.
That's cute.
Yeah, be interesting to see if they serve you a lot of alcohol too.
I'm
Or-
sure they will.
Jeff, maybe you could just talk about your business, which the mayor was at a couple of months ago.
January.
Right?
Yeah, January. So we're actually based right by the Honda plants. We came here in 1989, right around the time that Honda purchased all the land. just in the Union and Logan County area. We came here to support the Honda business. We have, our main headquarters in the US is right there in East Liberty, which is in between the two plants. And then we have a building that's 160,000 square feet out at Pittsburgh Drive, and then we have another one which we're just partially renting for a while, about 40,000 square feet. So we have about 200,000 square feet, about 40 employees here. We have 500 employees overall in the state. Our corporation is actually Japanese owned. 2/3 of it is owned by Nippon Express, which is equivalent to like DHL. It's the largest Asian freight forwarder. They're about a $50 billion company. And then the other one is Nitsu, which is a packaging company, which is kind of why we came here to do packaging with Honda. And I'm not sure of the exact size of that company, but I've got my Japanese business card that says that, so they'll recognize that when I go there. And our goal is to keep expanding here in Ohio, go from 500 to 1,000 employees in the next 5 years.
Wow. And you ship to 8 different companies in Japan, is that correct?
We deal with just about every Japanese supplier that Honda has. What they'll do is they'll ship their parts to us, and then we'll sequence them to go to the Honda lines for manufacturing.
Okay.
And we'll also then take Japanese parts that are produced here by the Japanese companies that are based in Ohio, and we'll ship them to Europe or South America or anywhere else where Honda has other production facilities. We have 5 and 6 Japanese on site at any time.
That's exciting. That's in addition to American Hoa, which is another Japanese company we have, and EMS Material Systems. So we have 3 Japanese companies located in the city, and obviously, hopefully through this relationship, we'll be able to build on that and perhaps get more.
That's just in the city. How about in the greater area?
Oh, the greater area is huge. I mean, when you think about Honda and all the
Showa.
suppliers, Showa and Sunbury, and there's a number of Dublin-based companies.
Ohio is the second largest automotive producer in the U.S. and a lot of it's due to Honda. Honda has 16,000 employees here, just in the state, plus all their suppliers.
So is that already bigger than Germany? So sounds almost like it. Or the German companies almost sounds like it's bigger, larger.
They can sell more cars.
Uh-huh.
So, well, not Volkswagen. Volkswagen's and Toyota are the 2 largest companies in the world for automotive.
Okay.
But that whole corridor along 33 now is so many Japanese suppliers and so forth along that.
The largest kind of concentration of wealth, Columbus doesn't want to hear it, but it's actually along that 33 corridor. Just averages. There's not a lot of expensive or salary wise, not the highest in Columbus, but you also don't have the lowest because the unemployment's so low. And they're mostly factory jobs and those are decent paying jobs or knowledge-based jobs with technology.
Yeah, there's a lot of development going on between here and Marysville, isn't there? Like Jerome Village and sort of developments, residential
Right,
developments
and it's
out
been
there.
identified as a corridor for autonomous vehicle testing, I think.
It's a smart highway.
Yeah.
Where it just got that designation a few months back, and it'll go from Dublin all the way out to East Liberty. There. I've been working out there for 21 years, so I worked on this proving ground before I came to NEX.
And there's the education piece, right? that Joanne will.
What's that?
The education piece, you're our education ambassador.
I was at Dempsey for 12 years, no, 11 years, and hosted several of the teachers.
Okay.
And they sent the students and was active in the organizational part of it. I moved to the high school the last 2 years, but still always managed to make it back to Dempsey when the students are here. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the different schools because they seem to think we're much more progressive as far as our schools are when we're here. But when I talk to the students and look at their math skills, I think they're a little more progressive. But they don't use calculators; they use abacus and stuff. So they do use calculators in the higher levels, but they always do a demonstration each year, and they can do that faster than they can on calculator. It's amazing to watch. It'll be interesting.
I mean, one of the things that's so important in Japan, just like any other foreign country, is that people learn to speak English well, that they can speak English fluently. And I think that's one of the things that why Sakata has been sending students to Dempsey all these years, is just to give them that exposure to Americans and kind of give them a little bit of motivation to learn and practice their English and so forth, because that's really something that is so important for them as time goes on here, is to speak English fluently. Like all the people who come over to work with you here have to speak English very well, don't they?
Some.
Some.
I'd say they understand a lot better than they can speak. They don't want, so sometimes they won't speak because they don't want to be embarrassed. They can't pronounce words correctly, but they understand.
The students bring electronic translators, and they communicate more verbally, or not verbally, but like through body language and stuff with the other students. And it's amazing, 24 hours and the two teenagers can communicate perfectly and not speak a word. But their English is more limited than what I've heard. It's not, they speak with the translator, but they're not as fluent as, but my understanding is that when you get to Tokyo and some of the larger cities, that is where they're more fluent.
I think that's a big currency for people to be able to speak English well. So.
Well, when the delegation came here in 15 from Sakata, Tom and I went to the airport and only one made it through. The other four got held up in customs in New York. So of course, we picked up the one who could speak zero English. And that morning, my son had met a student at school, put the translator, told me how he was talking to the student, so he put it on my phone. And that's how we communicated with that gentleman. We figured out this was hungry. So we took him to Easton to eat, and he had it on his phone. So it worked out fine, but it was very interesting. So I'm going to put that app on my phone again. Tom and I also went last Thursday night to JASCO, which is Japanese American
Society of Central Ohio.
Yes.
They're all over the country. And
Very nice. It was their 20th year anniversary, and it was very, very interesting. And we heard how many Japanese families there are in Dublin and what the community, the wealth of these Japanese here, how much of our income comes from Japanese. I really enjoyed it. So I think we're now a member of them.
yeah, we're a member now of JASCO.
Ooh, great.
They just have a new executive director, and we asked them if we could host an event, and they hopefully will be following up with us there. But there were over 100 people at this event. It shows you just the presence, the important presence of the Japanese in our region.
In our community, yeah.
And
The mayor of Dublin was there, and the mayor of Marysville was there also.
Okay,
So it was very nice, very well attended.
excellent. Excellent.
thank the former Governor Rhodes for establishing the relationship when he went over, however many years ago it was, to lure Honda here. I mean, that really is what started it, I think.
Yeah.
We talked about
In a
that.
big way.
Yeah. Would you like to comment a little bit about the Sister City agreement that you want to sign while you're there? Is this something that Darren drafted up?
No,
or-
we actually had taken that from one that we had done with Baumholder, and I sent it to the International Sister City group that we're a member of. I
Okay,
had one of their, somebody on their staff look at it, and she suggested a couple of minor changes, and we made it. It's a ceremonial agreement. I mean, the mayor will sign it, their mayor will sign it, and
nice.
that kind of is symbolic of the relationship. We did the same thing with Baumholder when they were here, and that covers really the big areas: culture, the economy, the arts, and education that really we're looking at hopefully expanding. But there's a formal ceremony on, I think the signing ceremony is on Wednesday, yes.
Yeah, the last day.
The last day we're there is the signing ceremony.
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
And And then there's a farewell, get together after that. But yeah, I think that the Sister City agreement is it's binding to the extent that this is what you're pledging you want to do, and you're committing yourself to. So maybe that's where the Sister City Board can hopefully play a role helping us build on that, just like we're doing with Baumholder.
Okay, excellent.
So do we get some pictures then? Also, how is that done?
There are
Or a Facebook group or?
Joanne?
Fantastic.
There's a Twitter and Facebook group that are set up as Delaware Cicada, because Delaware at Cicada was too long for Twitter. I haven't posted like, that's why I took a picture of the top of the box. We'll use that as the logo
Okay.
or on the thing, which I'll do tonight or tomorrow. Yes, and then.
And Joanne's going to send information to Brandon, and he's going to put stuff in the paper, hopefully daily, to let the community know
So
what
we
we're
just
doing.
sign up or Google it on Facebook and then. we'll
It's a,
connect.
I did it as a page, so anyone can
Okay.
follow it that they want.
Okay, good, wonderful.
And hopefully we'll have Lee push that out. If you send to Lee, then he can push it out through the city.
I can do that.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. All right. Well, I'm excited about this trip. I mean, I think that of all the things we've started as an advisory board, this is maybe one of the most fortuitous things to develop, really, out of our efforts. So,
It's the first of many.
Yeah.
yeah.
Think positive.
Rand, thank you too for your, your leadership in this area. You're having the ties that you have to the country, and the work that you've done has helped us get kind of to where we are today.
Well, I think this is a really unique event. They're going to put on something really special for you, something no tourist would get. So they're going to do special things for you. You're going to see special things like the samurai warrior stuff. I think you'll have a really,
Did you see that?
I saw that.
really special time there.
And wait for the photos.
Well, I can't wait for the cherry blossoms. I'm so excited for that.
We will all fear you when you return.
Samurai warrior. Put it on. I hope it's long enough. I'm tall.
Yeah, they're probably thinking about that. They probably had a couple of meetings over the fact that you're tall.
So I've heard.
I can tell you that, I mean, when I was there, I bumped my head on a lot of things because you're just not paying attention to the fact that, well, this is especially in older buildings. So a lot of the doorways are really low and you're just not paying attention and you bump your head. So,
My helmet, huh?
well, I had some really funny things happen to me there. Would you like to hear a story?
Sure.
This will make you feel better no matter what bad happens to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we were visiting just a regular Japanese home. This is back in 1980. Okay, so quite a long time ago, and Japan was still not as modern as it is today, back in 1980, and they had toilets where you just stoop over. They're just holes in the ground, effectively. They have ceramic places for your feet and so forth, but basically it's a hole in the ground and you just bend over. Well, when I was getting ready to use the facilities, my wallet fell into the toilet. Somehow, my wallet fell out of my pocket into the hole in the ground.
I didn't even know what you did. Tom,
Jumping us out again.
Keep your wallet somewhere else.
When you go to use those toilets like that, there's somewhere to hang your pants. The Japanese have told me, so you take your pants off and then you hang them up. We encounter any of those. Or I've seen them at Honda when I've been there. They've got the day toilets with the heated seats and it'll play music if you want.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the whole toilet and bath scene there is just unbelievable. And go ahead.
Toilet paper, so it's not always around.
Yeah, keep it with you at all times.
Those
I
little
bought 12 packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought 12 packs, yeah.
I was talking to the guidance counselor who organizes the students over here and Dan Friday. And I asked her about that. I said, so when you went over to visit, do I really need to stock up on toilet paper? And she said she didn't have a problem with that. She said she never encountered that. She said, but I do take Kleenex because that's what everybody told me.
Yeah.
So.
And when they tell us to use the restroom before we leave, use it because that'll be the last one for a long time. So,
I will just say that after I lost my wallet, I went out and told my wife about this. And so she went and talked to the wife and the family about this. And they very kindly dealt with this without my knowledge. So, I mean, this would be very typical, I think, Japanese response. They don't want you to be, something embarrassing happens to you, but they don't want you to be embarrassed, really. They really will go out of their way to help you if you do something that's not very nice. Welcome. Boda. Saskia, come on in. Saskia, just come up here and have a seat there. So, Saskia. We're just in the process of talking about the trip to Cicada that Carolyn and Tom are going on, and Julia, Joanne, and Jeff are going on. So you just came back from Cicada, right, Saskia?
oh my.
So it's what, 13 hours ahead, right?
Yeah, right now it's 13 hours.
Yeah.
They don't make the time change, so it was like 14, but now it's 13.
Okay,
Depends on the time of year.
yeah. We're leaving Thursday morning, but
Well, then, yeah, you're at 13.
so come up to the table here, maybe, because it's, and we can, the microphone can pick you up.
Okay.
Yeah, so Saskia, tell us a little bit about what was interesting, or do you have any suggestions for things that you would like to tell us?
Did you explain it to the family?
No, I didn't. I haven't really told them anything about your visit.
Well, I hosted students in 7th and 8th grade. And so the girl I hosted in 8th grade, we kept in contact with her and her family. And so, like, the invitation I stood for both ways, that, like, she can come visit here and I could go visit there. And she just finished high school on March 1st. And then she had, like, a month between college. So I was able to go and stay with her and her family for that month. So most of my time I was in Japan, I was actually with the family, which was very interesting because in Cicada I was with the family, so it was like I was getting to have the experience of just day-to-day life. And then also we got to visit like her grandparents, which was pretty cool because they lived, like, one of them lives in Kyoto, which is very far away, and then also the other one just lives kind of nearby. So that was my situation, but
Did you sleep on the floor?
no,
No?
like
So you were in Sakata.
Cicada, yeah.
Is it? Sakata.
Cicada.
Because I've
I
heard
think.
it
Oh,
both
boy.
ways.
I would say Cicada because it sounds exactly how it looks because their alphabet's different,
Right.
so it's completely phonetic. So, like,
Okay.
pronounce as close as you would think. Like, I think it's like Cicada is what they would say.
Okay.
So how many years ago did they visit here? I mean, how long's this relationship been going on? Are you out of school now? I mean,
Well, I would be a senior, but I graduated a year early,
Okay.
so, like,
for 4 years, probably?
yeah,
4
like,
years. Okay,
over, like, 4.5 almost
Okay.
at this point, I think, because
that's wonderful.
I think, yeah, like, yeah.
That's wonderful.
But-
So what did you see that really stood out? What was the best?
Well, in Cicada, well, we went to the Como Aquarium, which I really liked because I like jellyfish, and that aquarium is world famous apparently for studying jellyfish. But like, that's just because of my personal interest. We got to see, like, when I was there, actually, it was nice because there's some things that I don't know if they're still going on, like there are these things called Casa Fuku, which it's like more like Sakata has a lot of them, like they're like umbrella things and they have charms. Like, so I got to go see stuff like that because it was like the beginning of the springtime. So like when I left, it was just when the cherry blossoms in Tokyo were like full bloom. So it's like all the springtime things were starting to happen. So like I got to see a lot of special stuff with that. So I don't know if it's still going on. If that makes
According
sense.
to our itinerary, I think a lot of that is.
It will be
Yeah,
going
in
on there
Sakata,
because
yeah, I
it's
just
farther north.
realized that, yeah.
We just gave you the itinerary there is where we're going to be. Various
One thing I was amazed at is last night when we picked her up, she had lots of products from Japan, and she was just reading the characters to us, and we're like, do you just know that, or are you reading that? She's like, I'm reading it. She picks
You picked up
she
the,
picks up language
Yeah.
very fast.
wow.
So that's really cool, that she could speak it, and one of the most amazing things for me is the night she arrived, she had to get to Sakata in a country with a language she doesn't speak.
Yeah.
You know, taking a train and.
Cause yeah, I did
And she
fly
did
to
it.
the
So
trains.
it's like,
Oh, you did?
it must mean
Yeah.
that she's really good at, but that must mean it's a city that you can get around pretty
Mhm.
easily in.
Yeah, and the thing about it is everyone's really nice. Like if you ask for help, people might not speak. In the big cities, like in Tokyo and Kyoto, you can generally find someone who speaks English really quickly. But like when like I was in Sakata, like there's not nearly as many people, but people will still try and help you, which is
Yeah.
really nice. They're so nice. I don't know. I'm like trying to think
So
of
you
things
took
in
the
Sakata
train
stuff.
up to Sakata?
Yeah, I took the bullet train. Because I was in Tokyo for like, I think like a day. And then I took the bullet train because it doesn't go directly. You have to go to Nagata and then go up. But it's fun. I like the trains. I liked it more than the flying
We're taking
part.
the train coming back, but we're taking the scenic train,
Oh.
not the bullet. I do want to ride the bullet
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's fun. It's expensive.
Yes.
Like one thing is like, again, like I don't know exactly what's happening. Like, I don't know. Wait, I can look. Oh. No.
Did you like the food?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Try all the food so I'm a vegetarian, but like I tried everything when I was there, and so then like even if you don't like it, then that's fine. But they always really liked it when I would try things.
Sushi and the different noodles.
Yeah. Like what actually ended up happening for me, because like I was with the family, is I would usually let them order for me, and then I would just see whatever it was, which sometimes was surprising. I don't know. Because I don't know, like I think about food, it's like it's a very big part of the culture. So it's like for me, like especially because like I don't eat fish, but like I tried it and they really liked that. And so I think like because there is stuff that's like you're gonna be like, oh, I don't want to eat that, but I think just try a little bit. But,
Saskia, they're talking about 7-Eleven's behind mine.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you
7-Eleven is the best thing ever.
I've heard that.
7-Elevens
You
are the
get
greatest.
cash, I mean,
Yeah.
it's where you,
Most places don't accept foreign credit cards. If you're in like Tokyo and like Kyoto and stuff, some of like the more touristy places do. And like if you're in a fancy hotel or restaurant, they generally do. But like beyond that, post offices generally accept foreign credit cards, and 7-Elevens. 7-Elevens always have an ATM, and I never saw a closed 7-Eleven. And then it's also like convenience stores in Japan. Like we actually like just with the family, sometimes like if we were late for something, we just go to 7-Eleven because they have like the full meals and stuff like that you can just get, and they'll heat it up for you, which is really nice if you are busy or not knowing what you're doing. We're just trying to get a meal.
Oh, interesting.
But they're the best.
did you visit the Museum of Art or any of those things?
Yeah, we visited.
Photography museum?
Yeah, that one, I liked that one more. Yeah, they're very near each other. Like we visited one and then we just went straight to the other one. And then-
Yeah, they have us visiting schools and all kinds of things.
Yeah. I don't see it on here. Like the girl I stayed with, she's involved in a lot of like music production. So like we saw Kabuki done like at the theater in Sakata, and then like later on she was in a concert, which was really cool because there was like a famous pianist, and then there was like I think she's an opera singer. I don't know. And then there was like a comedian, but like because like they like seeing that stuff. Like I got to go see a lot of like performances and like arts and stuff, which I really liked. But like then again, that kind of depends on what's happening when you're there. Like there was one Kabuki performance when I was there, so we went and saw it. I don't know what else is happening.
Actually, maybe you can mention tea and mention the print shop,
Which one?
the print shop.
Oh yeah. So this is a really weird connection. The girl I stayed with, he has an Instagram. I can find his name. Okay, but the girl I stayed with, her dad knows he's friends with this guy on Facebook that does like the traditional way of dyeing like cloth and robes and like the hand towels and stuff. And we, like me and you and my friend, we got to go visit him and like he showed us how to make them, and that was a very, very cool thing. But like, I don't know, he was in like some magazine. I'm like, I know his name is somewhere. I don't know. Yeah.
And then what
Like,
about the
that
teas?
ceremony. But, oh yeah, the tea ceremonies. Oh, shoot. I forgot. It is here. Kasafuku, the colorful hanging ornaments, it's on here. But yeah, we saw that and that was cool. But, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, they will undoubtedly do a tea ceremony for you, and that's really special.
Yeah, it's really good. Like one time, I forget where it is. We went to a cultural center, me and my family, where I don't remember what it was called. Like you might be visiting because I don't know. I guess it's kind of well known. I don't remember what it was called.
This Jellyfish Museum, she posted, somebody got a Nobel Prize for the
Yeah.
study they did at that museum.
Yeah, and it also has
Aquarium.
the largest tank of moon jellyfish in the world.
Wow,
Yeah,
Is that on their agenda?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so.
It was definitely the first thing she was really wowing about.
I just really liked jellyfish. I'm like, because it might be like there's some vague things like sightseeing and historic sites, like because this building we were in, it's like a cultural center now, but it's a very, very old building. Like I think it was one of like, oh, I should have brought that paper. I have a paper of like stuff to do in Sakata that someone printed out for me, and it's got like historical residencies, and I think this was a residence at one point, but you can walk through and like there's different stages, and my host mother told me she's taken like calligraphy classes and flower arranging classes there before. And then like when you pay for your ticket, like we also paid, and then we got like they served us tea there, which was very nice. Because like there's also a big garden outside, but I don't remember what it was called. Did I tell you about Mom about that?
No, just starting here if you wanted to scroll through, it was like that.
So
Can-
we have speaking of.
Yeah, you have a
Sakata,
meeting
We have
coming
a
up.
conference call at 7 to go over last minute details with them. And so, but this is exciting.
Yeah.
This is a lot of what we're talking about tonight is the educational exchange and what that results in. Have you had is the student been over, have you hosted her here since?
Not yet. Their school schedule is really different. So we talked
Okay.
about maybe this summer, because like this was just about the only time I could actually go there, because it was the longest time they had available where because
Okay.
her mom's a teacher and her brother's her younger brother, so he's in school, and then her dad works. And so she was completely off, and then her brother and mother both ended up being on spring break during some of the time I was there. So it was the only time it was really good for them, like to have me there for a longer period. But we're thinking about she's still like invited here. Like we're thinking this summer, actually, we talked a little bit about it.
But they're very intense about school, similar
Yeah.
to like Koreans and
Mm.
Eastern Indians. Like they actually wouldn't let Saskia keep visiting because
Yeah, she had to go to school.
Stay focused on her studies.
Yeah.
You know, even during break. So they
Right.
had that intensity about getting into college. and-
Okay, sure.
And like I got to go visit like where she's going to be going to college too, like because they were like working on it the whole time. But like so it's interesting.
Well, Saskia, maybe as, after they come back, you can help us to sort of move forward with some of our things here.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes, Thursday.
So you want to give your phone number, be available? Like,
Sure.
or something, if you have questions?
That'd be great.
No problem.
Like what do we do at the 7-Eleven?
Just fine. They're all the same.
I want to tell you one other thing, there's a woman in the district named Lisa Owens.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
And she became our personal translator with that family. So
Yeah.
she's here, but she's Japanese, and she just did this huge service for us, just out of the kindness of her heart,
Mhm.
and translated every day for us, from their parents to us, what she was doing, and what she had
Yeah.
seen. I mean, it was amazing. So that was, and she doesn't have any connection with the Sakata trip, but she did such a beautiful thing for us. So. And I never even met her. I worked for the school district, so I asked on the phone, would you be willing to do this? And she agreed. why don't you just say your phone number out?
Well, if there's a sign-in sheet over there, if you just want to write it down, and then I'll give it to Mayor Whittle.
Yes, Saskia, thank you for coming this
Thank you
evening.
so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and Bodie, and so we have a Global Scholars Diploma Program that's going on at Hayes. It's developing. I think we can expect to work with them in the future. We have our next meeting scheduled for July 11th. Is that okay? I think probably it will be. It's worked for us in the past. So with that, maybe we can adjourn. So
Motion to adjourn.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, I
Thank you
wish you
for-
a terrific time there. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Awesome.